It is July in New Delhi, and the heat is punishing even for the healthy. But this 59-year-old man is surviving on nothing but salt water. He has been fasting for 20 days, and he has lost 21 pounds. Doctors monitoring his condition report that his body has reached a threshold where he faces imminent, irreversible organ damage. He is striking alongside a group calling themselves the Cockroach Janta Party, protesting widespread irregularities and paper leaks in the NEET exams, the high-stakes entrance test for aspiring doctors that affects millions of students. They are demanding the resignation of India's education minister. So far, the government has refused to answer questions from the media or engage with the protesters here at Jantar Mantar, the only site in the capital where demonstrations are permitted. The man on the pavement is Sonam Wangchuk, the globally recognized engineer who inspired the genius protagonist in the blockbuster film 3 Idiots. He is a pioneering climate engineer and innovator, once celebrated by the political establishment as a national treasure for his contributions to the Himalayan region. This creates a specific paradox. How did a man who spent his life building physical engineering solutions for India end up using his own biology as a final tool of resistance? Wangchuk began his career in Ladakh, driven by his own experience with an education system that felt foreign to the students it served. In 1988, he founded SECMOL, physically building a revolutionary campus that ran entirely on solar energy to prove that infrastructure could be localized and self-sustaining. Later, a larger and more insidious environmental threat appeared. Climate change began causing severe water shortages for Ladakhi farmers during the critical spring planting season. He turned to engineering for a solution, inventing the ice stupa, a method for building artificial glaciers in high-altitude deserts. A pipe carries meltwater down a steep gradient, using gravity to spray water into freezing air. It freezes into a towering cone that minimizes surface area. Come spring, the stupa slowly melts, releasing a steady supply of irrigation water precisely when farmers need it. These engineering successes brought him massive international recognition, including the Rolex Award for Enterprise and the Ramon Magsaysay Award. In this era, Wangchuk's work operated on a specific belief that any problem, from education to drought, could be solved by building a better physical mechanism. But he eventually reached the limit of what engineering could accomplish. Physical inventions alone cannot stop corporate encroachment or the rapid expansion of industrial mining across fragile tribal lands. He escalated to his second tool, policy. He launched the New Ladakh movement, demanding constitutional safeguards under the 6th Schedule to protect Ladakh's ecology and local autonomy. Unlike his inventions, these political demands were met with a wall of silence from the government. To force a response, he began staging 21-day climate fasts in sub-zero temperatures, using his physical endurance to draw attention to the region's crisis. The situation broke in September 2025. While leading a peaceful march toward the capital, Wangchuk was arrested under the National Security Act. He spent 170 days in jail. The same state that adopted his solar-heated tents for their army now labeled him an anti-national. This imprisonment shifted his approach. It demonstrated that while the state would consume his engineering, it would actively suppress his political voice. His 2026 hunger strike at Jantar Mantar represents the culmination of this tactical shift. When building things is insufficient and requesting policy changes leads to prison, the avenues for change disappear. This strike is a final application of leverage, using the destruction of his own biology as the only currency the state cannot confiscate. The protest now reaches beyond Ladakh or test paper leaks. It serves as an indictment of a breakdown in how the state communicates with citizens. Despite pleas from Bollywood stars and politicians, he refuses to eat. He stated that yielding without a dialogue would only validate the government's strategy of total silence. Sonam Wangchuk has spent decades building a sustainable future for India. The fact that he now feels forced to dismantle his own body just to be heard highlights a significant breakdown in the democratic process.